Hi there. Good morning, everybody. I'm going to try and make this a little bit interactive, so bear with me. I know it's just before the break, but we'll keep going. So first of all, just a bit of a show of hands. How many people have actually heard of Macmillan Cancer Support? Okay, great. There's probably about half of you. I'm probably just going to go through and just talk about a few things. Just another thing that we were talking about before we came in here today, and I was conscious that I'm trying to make this as interesting as possible, that you're probably thinking of the relevance of a charity and how that's going to work. But we asked some of the developers, we sort of said, well, what makes a happy developer? You know, what's that question that says, what is a happy developer? And so a few ideas came around: nice coffee, nice seat, equipment, all those types of things. And actually, we came to the conclusion that it was really the heart of it was about developing really cool stuff. That's what we came to. So what I want to talk to you today about is that actually we're about to embark on a really important part of our place in Macmillan and the history of us. We've been around for over 100 years, but we're turning a corner, and I'll explain a little bit this later as to why the development and why the development team at Macmillan, which is part of my team, that we're really excited about the future because of the changes that we're all going to be impacted by over the next 10, 15, 20 years, and particularly in the cancer space. So I'll start really by just, for those of you who don't know who Macmillan is, we are one of the largest UK charities. We are a care charity, so our aim is to improve the lives of people living with cancer. We don't do research into cancer, we really try and look after those people living with cancer. So from one nurse in 1975, we now have 7,162 professionals. This is of 2016. In 2016, we touched the lives of over 600,000 people living with cancer, which I'm sure you agree is an amazing achievement, really, for a charity to get to the reach of all those people. But I think where it really gets interesting for us in the digital space and how we adapt our applications is that we have some real challenges. And the real challenges are the diverse nature of some of the people that we interact with and some of the nature. So we split it really, our applications, into get support and give support. So our get support is people affected, people living with cancer, and also the number of healthcare professionals, as we've seen before, the 7,000 that interact with our website and want to interact with us daily, and we can provide information to them and also the people. But also we have a completely separate area where we have donors, supporters and volunteers who do tremendous things for us. It's absolutely some incredible things that you'll see some of our fundraisers do for us on a daily basis and ongoing, and which we're really, really proud of. It's interesting, one of our biggest events actually is the world's biggest coffee morning. So just again, has anybody been to a coffee morning in the audience? Yeah, a few people. I'm sorry to mention coffee. I know we're getting near that point. So, but it's just a tremendous event. That's for us is really our flagship event that we like to do. And we did actually think we missed a trick because we should have provided some cake on our stand, but we'll go with that. So these are some of the challenges that we've got over the next few years about how we manage it. But what I really want to just cover really is just some of the implications of that. So it's not just about cancer. It's not just the actual physical problems that somebody has when they have cancer. This is a lot holistic than that. So we do a lot of holistic needs assessments. We try and assess what's wrong with people, just not in their physical conditions, but also much wider than that. And really, I just wanted to get that across because that's a very, very important part of what we do. So this is where it really gets interesting. So the next slide is really one of those moments where you start to think, is this really happening? So this is in the UK data. This will be happening across the developed world, no doubt about it. So this was some statistics that we provided, Macmillan. It's been widely published. But basically what you'll see is today, well, in 2015, there's 2.5 million people in the UK living with cancer. By 2030, we expect that to be a lot more, so 4 million. That's a tremendous increase in the number of people living with cancer by 2030. That's a real problem, isn't it? If you think about how is the care going to be for that, what's going to happen with those extra people, how are we going to deliver that? what extra things, what extra nurses can we provide? Is our fundraising really going to increase by that much that we can provide that many nurses? So it's actually, that's a really interesting point, but actually it's made worse by this slide. So these are just some of the headlines that I took from the web over the last few days. And you can also see that, I don't like to mention it, but Brexit. So Brexit, since we've seen that, we've seen the number of new nurses registrants from the EU declining. There is a worrying decline in nurses across the NHS. We're seeing the Macmillan nurses, they are at a certain age where they will retire soon, and this is a real problem. So this is quite relevant for us, because actually what do? We need to deliver digital solutions, we need to put in services that enable us all to access information in a readily available, and just really, really do that. So, what do we need to do? So, I love that because I'm able to get a tick against Google. That doesn't mean I like Google. Really what this is about is that how many people here have Googled something when they've had an injury or an illness? Yeah? Definite big show of hands for that one. How many people have told the doctor that they've done it? Okay, so I think, because I went to doctors quite a while ago now, and basically what happens at that point is that the doctor doesn't like the fact that you've Googled it. Is that fair? I think that's a fair assessment. But actually what we need to do is we need to change that. We can't have that, can no longer exist. We have to allow for better information to be served to us online. That's got to happen over the next few years because of the reasons that I've just explained. There's no longer nurses. So what Macmillan have done last week, it hit the BBC. We've now got a digital nurse who really breaks out and gets rid of some of the fake news. Had to get fake news into a 2000 presentation, so I'm pleased I've done it. So some of the fake news that we get. So salt causes cancer. We've seen. If you drink bicarbonate of soda, that will cure cancer. And these are some of the things that you see online daily. So we've introduced a nurse now that just sits and monitors some of the activity and some of the information that's coming online. We've also introduced recently some automated intelligent answering, so we can perhaps put some machine learning in the future and just respond to people's requests and information in a quicker and swifter manner. Okay, so I'll just take a little bit of a breath on that one, but just the next slide really is, so why are we here? As I'd mentioned, we've already started to use Angular. We've done little bits and pieces with it. We have a local cancer intelligence site where we try and influence people. And as I mentioned earlier, we have our coffee morning site, which last year generated nearly £30 million for us. But where do we really need to get to? And this last image really is something I guess is best described as personalization and what that means. So the vision really is to get data in whatever shape or form. That might be sensors, it might be information gathered from call centers, it might be information gathered online. An understanding at what point in the cancer journey somebody is and giving them the right information to deal with at the right time. That's where we need to get to as an organization. This is why we're here. We need to get the best possible framework, the best applications available to us, and the best web developers in order to deliver that. That's it from me. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.